Thomas Tuchel has just been caught on leaked audio allegedly admitting he regrets dropping Trent Alexander-Arnold and Lewis Hall from England's World Cup squad. This wasn't just some off-the-cuff remark. This wasn't a misunderstanding. This wasn't the press blowing things out of proportion. This is serious. Nothing like this has ever been seen days before the start of a World Cup. And there's a detail the FA still hasn't confirmed publicly. The recording allegedly came from equipment meant for England's official documentary, meaning the raw footage may still exist, and the worst still hasn't come out. Over the next few minutes, you're going to understand exactly what happened and why this turns England's World Cup upside down. When this happens days before the tournament opener, it's not just any problem. This is bigger than anyone expected. You're talking about a manager second-guessing his own squad selection while the world watches. Senior players questioning whether Tuchel's tactical plan is built on doubt. And a media firestorm that could fracture the camp before England even face Serbia. And behind the scenes, it's worse than it looks. Here's where things become even more complicated. According to sources close to the England camp, it all started late at night inside a small tactical review room at UCLA's training complex in Los Angeles. Around 11 p.m. local time, Tuchel was reportedly reviewing England's right flank options on video with two assistant coaches when he paused. That's when he allegedly admitted he underestimated how much Trent Alexander-Arnold's passing range could unlock compact defenses. One assistant allegedly asked whether Reece James could provide the same, and Tuchel reportedly replied that James is more defensive, lacks the same vision, and carries a knock that limits his training load. Then came the moment that reportedly changed everything. The conversation allegedly shifted to Lewis Hall, with Tuchel admitting the Newcastle left-back's pace and overlapping runs would have offered Luke Shaw a genuine alternative rather than forcing Dan Burn into an unfamiliar role. A long silence allegedly followed before Tuchel said he cannot reverse the decision now without destabilizing the squad. One coach reportedly suggested keeping the conversation internal, but the recording device, allegedly left on by a media officer earlier that day, captured the entire exchange. Nobody saw it coming. But to understand why this matters, you need to know what came before. Tuchel's squad selection had already divided opinion before the tournament. Alexander-Arnold, despite more than 80 caps for England and consistent performances for Liverpool, was reportedly viewed by Tuchel as a defensive liability against elite opposition. Hall's exclusion surprised many, given his breakthrough season at Newcastle. Multiple reports suggested Tuchel prioritized players who fit his rigid tactical system over individual talent, a philosophy that clashed with Gareth Southgate's more inclusive approach. Senior players allegedly voiced private concerns during pre-tournament friendlies that the squad lacked depth in wide positions. Tuchel reportedly dismissed these concerns, insisting his chosen 26 could adapt to any scenario. And hold on, because the most controversial detail I've saved for the end. On one side, Tuchel and his tactical purists believe England must prioritize defensive solidity and structural discipline to win knockout matches, even if it means sacrificing creative outlets. They argue Alexander-Arnold's defensive weaknesses would be exposed by top teams, and that Hall lacks the tournament experience to handle World Cup pressure. On the other side, critics within the camp and the media argue England's best chance lies in maximizing attacking talent, and that excluding proven performers creates unnecessary risk. Inside the dressing room, senior players reportedly reacted with disbelief. Declan Rice, caught between supporting his manager and maintaining dressing room unity, allegedly found himself fielding questions from teammates about whether Tuchel's admission signals deeper uncertainty. Coaching staff remain publicly supportive, but sources suggest private frustration that the leak has created an avoidable distraction. The FA issued no immediate comment, but insiders reportedly scrambled to contain the damage and verify the audio's authenticity. On social media, fans split sharply. Liverpool supporters demanded accountability for Alexander-Arnold's exclusion, while others defended Tuchel's right to select based on tactical fit. British press seized on the story, with tabloids framing it as managerial panic and broadsheets questioning whether Tuchel's methods suit international tournament football. What almost nobody noticed was the timing. England's opener against Serbia is now just days away and the clock is ticking. England's tactical flexibility is now under intense scrutiny, with every wide area weakness likely to be attributed to the omitted players. If Reece James or Luke Shaw pick up injuries during the group stage, Tuchel will face immediate calls to justify why no natural replacements exist. The leaked audio has created a narrative of doubt that could undermine player confidence and embolden opponents. Now Thomas Tuchel is caught between two bad decisions. If he publicly acknowledges the regret, he undermines his own authority, destabilizes squad morale, and invites intense media scrutiny that could fracture the camp before the tournament begins. But if he denies the audio or doubles down on his selection, he risks alienating senior players who already question the omissions, loses credibility if results go wrong, and faces accusations of stubbornness. And here's the kicker. FIFA rules prohibit squad changes except for injury emergencies, meaning Tuchel cannot reverse the decision even if he wanted to. England's opener against Serbia is now framed not just as a football match, but as a referendum on Tuchel's judgment, with media and fans primed to dissect every tactical misstep. And look, this is far from over. This is the information circulating so far. Over the next few hours, new details should trickle out, and they could turn this whole story upside down. So for you, should Tuchel have trusted Alexander-Arnold's creativity over defensive caution? Or was he right to prioritize structure even if it means less attacking threat? Let us know in the comments below. And if you don't want to miss the next major development, subscribe now and turn on notifications, because when this fully breaks, you'll want to be the first to know, not the last.